Y'all remember after the first game, the Chicago Bulls had a team meeting to where they pushed out Billy Donovan and said they need some time? Well, word has gotten back around to Patrick Beverley, and he did not like it. We gonna go ahead and break it down. He say the Bulls on some BS. You know, we gonna talk about it, but you gotta hear the music first.
Cognac. Gang.
Shy Boys Podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on another episode of Shy Boys Podcast for me and my co-host C-Dub. If you like what you're listening to today, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and shake the notification bell so every time we drop, you'll be one of the first ones to know. Now, we know that it's been a few games, 4 games to be exact, since the team meeting went on out there with the Chicago Bulls after game 1, the big letdown to OKC and a bad way to start the season for the Chicago Bulls. Word circulated around to Patrick Beverley, and on the Patrick Beverley show with him and his co-host, Patrick Beverley reacted to this, and he had some choice things to say. So before we get into, and I give you my thoughts on it, I'm going to go ahead and play the clip from Patrick Beverley, let him speak his piece, and then we're going to go ahead and break it down right after this. Here's the video.
Billy Donovan walked in.
What are they doing?
And they basically said, we want to have a player. He's like, you want me to give you guys some time? And they said, yes, we want to have a players.
And I don't like it because it's unfortunate as fuck. And people ain't going to talk about it. And I played under Billy D. Billy D's a great human being. Okay. Billy D's a great man. Billy D's a great coach. A great coach, bro. Like, I really enjoyed playing for Billy D. His defensive shit, contest everything, but just his like mannerism, how he controls the team is great. Like they bullshitting over there. For real. I don't like that.
No pun intended.
You know, like, I don't like that. Because like I came from that organization. I left 15-9 or 14-9, and we won. It
seemed like there was good momentum.
You know what I'm saying? And we won a ton of games. And obviously, it's 3 games into the season, so we ain't gonna just, you know. But like,
but they're having the players.
I know,
meeting.
but shit like that.
We're saying this about them. This is something that they did,
and shit like that put pressure on the coach.
Okay,
you know that ain't fair to him.
So y'all heard Patrick Beverley. A lot to dissect and dissect between what Patrick Beverley said and how we all feel as Chicago Bulls fans. But first, if you're looking at how Patrick Beverley broke it down, he flat out said that he didn't like that the players pushed out Billy Donovan and, you know, had their discussions without their coach after game 1. Even went as far as saying that Billy Donovan is a great human being. He's a great coach. He's a great person, has the mannerisms, and he was able to do things defensively that Patrick Beverley somehow fell in love with. And he said that it's unfair to Billy Donovan. It's not the right thing to do, and that the Chicago Bulls players are flat out bullshitting over there. Now let's break it down. I can see how it can come off. You know what I'm saying? When you think about some of the things that has been said about Billy Donovan, the things that have been pushed about Billy Donovan, even myself, I hold myself accountable. I don't really think Billy Donovan is the coach for the Chicago Bulls. Some will argue and say that he is the coach for the right coach. Let me make that clear. The right coach for the Chicago Bulls. And I do have my reservations when you talk about Billy Donovan. But on the flip side, I gotta say it's not all on him. It's on some of the front office for bringing in the type of players that they want to bring in. And some of that is on the actual players that are on the court. Some of the guys that's getting paid the top money. Nikola Vucevic, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? But Pat Bev, he got the right to feel how he feel, and that's just the facts. And I could be wrong. You know, I could be wrong in this regard. I want to make it clear. I could be wrong in this regard that though I don't think Billy Donovan is the right coach, I also feel Pat Bev has more insight on the things that we don't know as Chicago Bulls fans. He was in the locker room. He was around the team. Was it for a long, extended period of time? Absolutely not. But he knows more than what we think we know. So he got some type of, input on that, and he believes it's unfair. But I will point out to this. After going and listening to Pat Bev, two things could be true. Billy Donovan is trying to incorporate some things that he believes will work. And then on the flip side, sometimes the players might not be receptive to what Billy Donovan is trying to push out there for the team. Sometimes that's the guys not executing, or sometimes that's just who the front office has placed on the team for Billy Donovan, the coach. So two things in that regards could be true. But when we talk to Patrick Beverley, I want to bring up some of the things that I believe are some of the factors to where we say, hey, Billy Donovan don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? But the players are saying, given like little subliminals to make us believe that it's more than the players, if y'all feel what I'm saying. And a few things I want to talk about is Nikola Vucevic. Look at his comments coming into this whole entire season. It's the Bulls' last dance. I want more touches. You know what I'm saying? I want more touches within this area of the court. I don't want to be a spot up 3-point shooter and shoot, 4 or 5 threes, et cetera, all the things that Nikola Vucevic has been talking about the entire offseason. And after the said team meeting, he said that it was some good open dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff that was needed. Hopefully, they can turn. And then Nikola Vucevic even said that the team last year was waiting on Lonzo Ball to come back. I understand that these are grown men, so they got to wash that out. But what was being said by the head coach to help them wash that out? Now, we are all grown. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, we can think for ourselves. So my only question is, why couldn't the players think for themselves? Or, you know what I'm saying? I can't completely fault Billy Donovan on that, but I have to look at some of the things that have been put out there by the players to start questioning Billy Donovan a little bit, to what Patrick Beverley is saying that they bullshitting. That could be true, because we find out and we already got it. We got Auntie Goon calling this team the Chicago bullshitters. So it's only right that they might be on some bullshit. But now we move on. Another example on why I kind of feel like it's not only on the players, Pat Bev. That's just me. I'm giving all the stuff that I've been following, and I'm putting it out there for you. What about Zach LaVine comments a few days ago? Or you know what I'm saying? Or what we dropped on the daily episode earlier today. Zach LaVine came out and pretty much said, we as players got to get it together, but from the top down, we got to make it click. And that's paraphrasing for y'all. But he mentioned the players, but he did not forget to say from the top down, we got to make it click. And he said it's not just the players before he said we have to make it click. So that's another thing, another little tip piece that we put out there to say, hey, it might not just be the players. It might be on some of the coaches too. And I got to give Pat Bev, because in his time with the Chicago Bulls, they did go 14-9. He did provide some excitement to the end of the season. Didn't pan out well, but he provided some excitement for the season. But now I'm looking, another tad bit is what I'm starting to look at from this particular season. You know what I'm saying? Some of my contemporaries, some of my guys, some of my homies, some of the people that we do podcasts on, and even some of the fans that are fans of this show and other Bull show and all over social media, when we talk, we chop it up. We say players like DeMar DeRozan is holding Patrick Williams back. That could be something. Maybe the players don't all fit. And that could be a piece that backs up Billy Donovan a little bit, in my opinion, because if he doesn't have the right players to where he can run the system that he wants to run, that's something that you could start looking at. I even heard my guy Steve-O, I heard my guy Hayes, shout out to those two guys, believe that Kobe White is being held back. I'm paraphrasing. It's being held back a little bit by DeMar DeRozan because those two guys on the court don't play equally the same. So it's a lot of things that's going on and circulating in this beef stew. It ain't all peaches and cream, Pat Bev, and that's my only point I want to make. You know what I'm saying? It's not all peaches and cream. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at the guy because it could, you know what I'm saying? Because two things could be true. Patrick Beverley has that insight within the locker room to where he say it ain't all Billy Donovan. But then when you got your players coming out and throwing out little subliminals and tidbits, and we got Bears fans and some other content creators alongside of us believing that there is some type of resistance when it comes to player development or lineups or lineup changes that needs to happen. Some of that's on the coach. Some of that is on the players. So I would, the whole point of this is pretty much to say that Billy Donovan is not innocent in any of this. Billy Donovan is not innocent in any of this. Let's be clear. You know what I'm saying? And he is the guy that has the more knowledge in basketball. But I will say, from watching and following the Bulls, going on our third season over here on Shy Bulls podcast, we have seen many times to where Billy Donovan has done some questionable things. You got Zach LaVine the other night against Luka Doncic. He's hot. Billy Donovan takes him out the game, sits him for a long extended period of time. Zach LaVine is not able to recover from that. You see games to where Kobe White last year had it going. Billy Donovan sits him down. Same thing with Patrick Williams, sits it down. So the whole point is this is on a collective of people, not just Billy Donovan, not just the players. So I understand that it might be a little bit of bullshit, but as Zach LaVine said, why can't us players have a basketball conversation amongst us players? That's all. But hey, y'all, maybe I could be wrong. So let me know in the comment box. Nephew, you tripping. Nephew, I feel like this. Nephew, you might have a point. But if you're going to disagree or agree, make sure you leave a take behind it, so we can go ahead and chop it up for the rest of the day before we get ready and tip off against the Brooklyn Nets tonight. And make sure y'all be right there. Hit the notification bell, because C-Dub and the crew will be live for the Nets game, and I will join them at a later time, probably around the second half. But hey, make sure you hit the like button, because that's it for me today, at least for right now. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. But hey, it's another episode of Shy Bulls Podcast. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure.
Cognac. Gang.